welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. Today, we're going to be bringing you our Week 1 matchups because football is back. Dynasty Football is here. We're ready to go. We're going to be going over Week 1 matchups here and who we think you should start for each one of them teams. Who you got here first with the Lions and the Chiefs Thursday night?
A lot of you might be surprised, but I think the Lions are going to take this one. And for me, I think Jared Goff's going to have a huge game Week 1. And for the Chiefs, I think Rashee Rice is going to surprise some people.
Oh, yeah. Chiefs for me, taking this one in a closer game than people think. I got Kelsey for the Chiefs and the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions.
Okay. Next, we have the Panthers and the Falcons. And I think the Panthers take this one. And even though Bryce Young's going to have a good game, I think they're going to, go with a run-heavy approach and let the defense do its work. So I think Miles Sanders, the guy for me for the Panthers. And for the Falcons, you got to go Bijan. I think they're going to feed him in every way possible they can think of.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go with the Falcons here. They're going to come out with their new look, running Bijan Robinson all over the place. However, Kyle Pitts is going to have the game here. I think he's ready to get out of the gates and get his career back on track to where it was if it was rookie year. And the rookie's going to shine over on the other side of the ball for the Panthers. I think Bryce Young, this is a good starter game for him. Not too crazy of a defense to worry about, in my opinion. But I think he shines over there for the Panthers.
Okay. Next, we have the Texans against the Ravens. And I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think maybe, but I think the Ravens are going to take this one. And as far as the breakout or fantasy relevant player for me for the Texans, it's got to be Nico Collins. I think he's been building a lot of hype lately. And I think he's going to have a really, really good Week 1. For the Ravens, I think it has to be Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to start hot and get back to the MVP caliber performance.
Absolutely, man. Even though as much as I want the Texans to win, it's going to be I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think the Ravens, especially in Baltimore, they're going to run over and through the Texans. There's no denying how good the Ravens play, and I think they're just, at this point in time, a whole mile ahead of the Texans. Obviously, my breakout for them is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's going to get fed the ball from Lamar Jackson. And for the Texans, Dameon Pierce. I'm going to keep it simple over there for us. I think they're going to give that cat the ball a lot. And hopefully, they can hang with the Ravens, but I don't see it happening. It's the Ravens big in this one for me.
All right, next we have the Bengals against the Browns. And I'm going to take the Browns. I think with a little bit of a question with Cincinnati at quarterback. We'll see what happens there. I think Watson's going to be my breakout candidate for the Browns in this victory. And I think considering what's happening with the quarterback, if he plays, Burrow is the guy, but I think Joe Mixon is going to be the breakout guy if he doesn't play.
Yeah, I'm going to have to keep it simple with this one. I'm going with the Bengals. Hopefully Burrow does play. He's had that injury to his calf, but we'll see what happens. If he doesn't, it's going to be really tough. I'm going to take Nick Chubb on the other side of the ball as the breakout. And for me, for the Bengals, it's going to be Jamar Chase. I think they're going to get the ball a lot to him, and he shines Week 1 every year. So it's Bengals pretty big in this one.
Okay. Next, we have the Jaguars and the Colts. And I think the Jaguars take this one. Probably a little bit closer than people think, but I think the Jaguars take this. And I think for them, even though Lawrence is going to have a big game, I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a really, really big game. Him and Lawrence have meshed well together. And for the Colts, I think Richardson's going to surprise some people. I know there's some doubters still, but I think Richardson for me with the Colts.
Cool. Yeah, I'm taking Jags big in this one. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a huge game. He's definitely my starter for you in this one. It's pretty obvious, just the caliber of quarterback he is. And the Colts really have been struggling on defense for the past, 2 years. So on the Colts side, however, I'm going to take their filler at running back, Deion Jackson, as my surprise start of the week. I think given his time and his experience from last year, he did very well as a filler and replacement running back when JT wasn't able to go. I think people forget he had quite a few games that kind of won some people their weeks last year. So for me, it's Deion Jackson.
Nice. Next, we have the Vikings against the Bucks. I think the Vikings win this one, and I think for me, even though Jefferson's going to have a really good game, no surprise there, obviously, but I think Addison's going to have a really, really good game as well. So that's my kind of sneaky breakout. I didn't want to go with someone's too obvious like Jefferson. For the Bucks, I think Rashad White is ready to take over the backfield and just completely dominate. With the questions at quarterback, he can catch it, he can run it, so he's my breakout guy for the Bucks.
I like that. I'm taking the Vikings in this one for sure. And my breakout's going to be your newly highest paid tight end in TJ Hawkinson. I think he is just going to ball out in this game and let them know why they paid him all that money. On the other side of the ball, I think Mike Evans reemerges a lot, especially with the not so hot. I don't know, man. I don't think the Vikings have so hot of a secondary besides my boy, Harrison. So Smith, he is just always Mr. Consistent. But yeah, I'm gonna take Mike Evans on the other side for the Bucks.
All right, next we have the Saints and the Titans. I think the Saints win this one easy. And for me, the breakout for their side of the ball or their side is going to be Derek Carr. I think he's going to be the difference between make a huge impact in this division as well as the Saints. And for the Titans, I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a ridiculous game with his new team, but it's just not going to be enough to beat the Saints.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go Titans close here. I think Henry's just a little bit too much for that defense to contain. So Derrick Henry for me, they're gonna be giving him the ball just like they always do. They're gonna run him into the ground. I think he's gonna have a huge game. I mean, King Henry always shows up and balls out. So I got to go with the obvious there. It will be a little bit of a closer game than people think. However, on the other side, it's going to be Chris Olave for me for the Saints. It's going to go nuts. So.
Okay. Next, we have the Steelers and the 49ers. I have the Steelers here winning, and I think the breakout guy for me is going to be Pickens for the Steelers. I mean, everything you've seen in training camp and even going towards the end of last year was dominant, and I think he's going to take it to the next level. For the 49ers, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. I think there's a lot of questions at the quarterback position still. Not sure how Purdy's doing or, what's going on with there. So for me, McCaffrey is going to be the guy who kind of takes over. And if they do pull it off, it's going to be because of McCaffrey. But I think the Steelers win this one.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to be close. I think the Steelers are going to get down there at the end of the game. And I think Pickens is going to just one-hand it, 360 backflip through the goalpost and land it down like he always does. But, man, for me, the breakout for the Steelers is Kenny Pickett. He's been Mr. Breakout this offseason throughout training camp and preseason. We saw him starting to emerge and really gel with his wide receivers. So he's got this game, man. He's going to let them know, hey, and if Bosa ain't playing for the 49ers, I don't think it's close. I really don't. I think he's a huge difference maker for that defense, especially them losing DeMeco Ryans this offseason. It's going to be tough to hang with an offense like the Steelers. However, I think the only guy who is going to be burning and turning on the Steelers for this side of the deal, I'm agreeing with you. I think it's Christian McCaffrey.
All right. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Commanders. No surprise here. I think Commanders are going to win this one easy. And as much as I want to say Sam Howell is going to be the breakout guy, I think with McLaurin kind of still iffy. For me, it's going to be Brian Robinson. I think he's going to be the breakout on that side of the ball. And for the Cardinals, I think it's going to be Rondale Moore, or at least I'm hoping it's going to be Rondale Moore. They're going to get the ball in creative ways with screen passes, reverses, short passes, and maybe a couple of deep shots. We'll see what happens, but I think that's what I have here.
I like it. Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders here, man. Newly owned Commanders going to come out, I think Jahan Dotson, for me, is the breakout candidate in this game. I think he's been emerging, and if McLaurin is, a little shaky due to, recovering from his little injury that he's had, I think Dotson's going to put up some numbers in this game. For me, on the other side of the ball, man, it's tough. But I think it's James Conner. I think, given their quarterback situation, there ain't gonna be a lot of passing. I'm sorry to say that. Dobbs or Tune is gonna start. We don't know who that is yet. We'll see. Hey, we'll see, man. Your boy from Tennessee, Dobbs.
Right.
He might be coming through for him. But for me, I'm taking the other side in this one. It's pretty big. So
All right. Next, we have the Packers and the Bears, rather. Very exciting game. I can't wait to see what Jordan Love does in his first game against the Bears in Chicago. I think the Packers take this one, and I think Jordan Love has shown that he's probably a little bit better than people thought, and I think he's going to be the fantasy relevant guy here on that side of the ball. And for the Bears, for me, it's going to be DJ Moore. I think what we've seen in the preseason, how they plan to use them and just kind of short passes, even take some shots and just let him run after the catch. I think for me, it's going to be DJ Moore, but I think the Packers are too much for the Bears week 1.
yeah, I like it, man, and I'm agreeing with you. I think the Packers edge this one out. Love has been making me eat crow ever since I put them dead last in the division. My apologies. I want to make up for that, and I will pick your Packers week 1 here. However, it's going to be two quarterbacks that break out in this game for me. One of them over here, Jordan Love, and I think Fields. I think it's going to be a rocket of a game. So they're going to be throwing the ball all over the field. It's going to be a close one, but Love pulls it out.
Okay. Next, we have the Broncos against the Raiders, and I think the Broncos take this one. And I think the guy who's going to be the sort of the breakout candidate, you might be a little surprised by this one, but I think it's going to be Samaje Perine. I think he's going to be the breakout guy for the Broncos, even though Russell's going to have a good game. And for the Raiders, man, it's tough because Jacobs is coming back from, kind of taking that holdout or whatever situation. So I don't know how ready he's going to be what he saw last year. So I'm going to go with Devontae Adams on the Raiders side.
Yeah, I am going to take the Raiders in this game. They just got Josh Jacobs back. Garoppolo, hey man, I think Garoppolo's highly slept on, so I think he pulls this one out. It will be close. I think they got too much sauce over there with the league's leading rusher that just returned on a 1-year, $12 million deal, and Adams. I think they take this one and they win it. For me, it's going to be Josh Jacobs in that game. They're going to run all over the Broncos. And the other running back for me in this game is Javonte Williams. I think he's going to come back off that injury and really do well. So for me, two running backs in this game. So, but the Raiders squeak it out.
All right, next we have the Dolphins against the Chargers. It's kind of a tough game, interesting game, especially with the whole Tua Herbert, pick who got picked first in their draft class. I think it's going to be the Dolphins winning. I think they have too much firepower on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense has gotten a lot better. For me, I'm going to say Tua is going to be the breakout candidate. I think as much as I want to say Tyreek Hill with his 2,000-yard prediction, I think it's going to be Tua on the Dolphins side. And for the Chargers, I'm going to go with Eckler. I think even though he's proven he's one of the best running backs in the league, I think he has something to prove when it comes to the whole salary or the usage of the running back position. I think he's very much motivated to kind of take over games and then show that running backs should be paid better than they are, especially ones that can catch the ball like he can. So for me, it's going to be Eckler and Tua.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Herbert. I think Herbert's ready to have his year, his real deal year to where like, hey, I'm a top 3 quarterback. I think they've solidified his wide receivers, getting QJ in there. That's Quentin Johnson for some of you that don't know who I'm talking about. And I think Herbert is the breakout for the Chargers. I think he's going to spread the ball out a lot more than we're used to seeing now that he has 4 wide, really, at wide receiver. I think they're going to beat the Dolphins. I think on the other side, as always, Tyreek Hill is going to be the guy that's going to have a monster game over there. So for me, it's the Chargers in this one.
Okay. Next, we have the Patriots against the Eagles. And I think there's no question it has to be the Eagles here that take the win. As far as the Patriots side of the ball, man, it's kind of tough. um, but I think it has to be Ramondre Stevenson as far as the most consistent guy in that offense. Even though Elliott's going to take probably some carries, some goal line carries, but I think Stevenson's the guy for the Patriots in this loss. As far as the Eagles side of the ball, it's got to be Jalen Hurts. I think the way we saw him pass at the end of the year, plus the way he can run the ball, I think there's no question he's going to be the difference maker in this victory.
Yeah, I'm taking Eagles here big, and Mac Jones is going to be lucky to have any part of his body left after this one, after that defense. So, for me, man, it's Eagles big here. I don't think the Patriots are that bad; just the Eagles are that much better. AJ Brown is my breakout player to start in this game, given the fact that I don't really trust in too much about what the Patriots got going on this year. On the defensive side of the ball, they do always surprise me with the defense. But over there, I'm agreeing with you. I think it's going to be Ramondre Stevenson. I think he's going to have a decent game. I don't know how good of a game he's going to have because, man, that front four is scary as hell. But it's Eagles here.
All right. Next, we have the Rams against the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks take this one easy. From the Seahawks side of the ball, I think it's going to be Geno Smith. He's going to continue to kind of build on what he did last year and really, really have a good game against the Rams, who their defense is, I mean, all they have now for real is, what's his name?
For the Rams, Aaron Donald?
Yeah, oh my gosh, Aaron Donald for sure. All they have is Aaron Donald. So basically, a lot of time to the ball. For the Rams side of the ball, I think it's going to be kind of surprising. Man, it's tough. There's not a lot of options. I think their offense is kind of. I don't think they're going to do very well on offense, to be honest. But if I had to take someone, I guess I would take Cam Akers. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, it's definitely the Seahawks in this one. I think DK Metcalf is the player to start in this game, and he's going to just have a really, really, really good game. They win big. On the Rams side of the ball, I just picked this guy up on waivers, so I'm going to go with my new waiver addition, and he will be the week 1 wide receiver 1 for the Rams, and that's Van Jefferson. I think Van Jefferson is going to come out. This is his chance, man, to really show him, hey, last year was a fluke. I am that second-round pick you invested in. You don't really need Cooper Kupp to succeed, so Van Jefferson is my player to start for the Rams.
Okay. And the last game we have here, Sunday Night Football, at least for Sunday, is Dallas Cowboys against the Giants. And I think the Cowboys take this one. For the Giants, I think Jalen Hyatt is going to be the guy who's going to be the breakout candidate. He's just been, in my opinion, dominant and overlooked throughout the offseason, even though he's kind of made some noise towards here at the end. But he's going to be the guy for me on that side of the ball. For the Cowboys, although I want to say the Cowboys defense, we're going to stick to the offense. And I think it's going to be CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. However, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think Danny Dimes is going to come out, and he's going to start. He's going to start his year off with a W, and he's going to tear up Darren Waller. So Darren Waller is my game. My player of the game and player for the Giants to start in week 1. On the Cowboys side of the ball, I think it's going to be people don't really realize this, but I think it's going to be Brandon Cooks, man. I think Brandon Cooks is going to come in this game. They're going to concentrate on CeeDee Lamb. I think Brandon Cooks is going to let them know, hey, you got to steal for me in the offseason on the 5th round pick they got from the Texans. So I think Brandon Cooks is going to show out.
All right. And last but not least, going to be the Bills against the Jets. primetime game. So that'd be kind of a crazy way to end the week one.
Hell yeah.
And I got the Jets here to win this game. And I think even though Rodgers is going to show everyone that he still has it, I think Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be the guy who breaks out and have a ridiculous game offensively. For the Bills, let's see. Who do we have for the Bills? I don't know, man. A lot of options as far as breakout candidates, but I'm going to go with James Cook. I think they're going to use the running back a little bit different than they have, at least I hope. And I think James Cook can do a little bit of everything. So for me, James Cook on the Bills side, but I think the Jets are too much for the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Jets are going to come in. They got Dalvin Cook now. They got a double-headed monster back there at the backfield position. I think Dalvin Cook's going to have the game. I think Dalvin Cook, I want Breece Hall to do well for your sake. I don't even know if he's going to be healthy week one, but like I said, I think Dalvin Cook's going to come in, establish, his normalcy there at running back, take some pressure off of Rodgers. It's his first time ever with the new team, so I think they're going to run Dalvin a little bit more in this game. The other side of the ball, I'm going with Gabriel Davis. This guy always surprises me, and I think he's going to have a good game. I like the guy a lot, and I think that Stephon is going to be heads up with Ahmad Sauce Gardner, and then on the other side, Gabriel Davis. Just for me, he always has a breakout game. So I'm going Gabriel Davis for the Bills. Jets win.
All right,
so, guys. As always, like and subscribe. Come back, see us, man. We love talking about football here on Dynasty Football Live. Join up, man. Hey, hit that subscribe button. We need you guys to follow us. I'm going to let y'all go how I always let y'all go. Dynasty Football out.